Welcome back, everybody, to Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler. I'm joined by a couple people who are late because they were watching the hockey game, and a guest this week. Two guests.
What?
What's up, guys?
I was here before you. You were playing Moto for like a half hour. I was just sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
Fake news. Fake news. I was definitely here before you.
Cool.
What happened with the hockey game, by the way? Are you happy or sad? I just need to know what kind of Jason we're getting tonight.
I don't know, man. I don't know who I want to win. I don't really care. I think
Who
it would
won?
be cool if Vegas won. Oh, the Caps won like 6-2. It was a beating.
So KYT's not going to get rich. You jinxed them last week.
Well, they're down 3-1, so it's looking like it's not.
It's
but here's the
3-1?
deal. I kind of want it to go to Game 7 because if it does, we'll be in Vegas for Game 7.
Oh, dude, that'd be legit, actually.
So
I didn't realize it was 3-1, and I don't I kind of care. I want to watch it, but I mostly just care about KYT getting rich. So let me get this straight. Vegas was up 1-0. You came on this podcast and said, "What? It's over. KYT's going to be so rich, my man. Yeah." And they lost the next three.
Over at all.
And now they lost the next three.
Yeah, well, it turns out they're not as good a team because it turns out they were made in a cave with a box of scraps, and everyone's like, "I can't believe they got this far." But they didn't
Tony
really
Stark did it.
They have to really play as good teams as the Caps had to play. So the Caps are sort of like, we beat the Penguins. We never beat the Penguins.
They never beat anybody,
sort of like,
actually.
we beat, I don't know, the Winnipeg Jets. Who cares? So
Didn't they beat the Anaheim Mighty Ducks?
I don't remember who they played in the second round, actually. I don't think it was the Ducks.
It's Mighty Ducks.
Not anymore. It's the Anaheim Ducks, actually.
Yeah,
it
really
hasn't been the Mighty Ducks since the 90s.
No.
It was the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, then it was the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, then it was the Anaheim Ducks.
You're right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's not defer to the guy who actually watches hockey at all.
Yeah, but I watch those movies a lot.
I owned a VHS copy of Mighty Ducks 3, which was the worst one to own.
That's true.
Yeah. That was, I don't know, that was a good one because it taught me how to be Machiavellian like Goldberg. He's like, I'm a shitty goalie, but if I just tell this girl to carbo load and she gets fat, if I just ruin her long-term health, I can have her starting goalie position.
That was kind of messed up, huh?
Yeah, that was
especially
really
like
messed up.
Imagine that today because it would be probably be like pretty sexist too because he's like body shaming.
Yeah,
a woman,
an average-looking girl, which is messed up. I think every movie that we liked as kids is messed up in hindsight. If you go back and watch all that stuff, you're like, wow,
like
I don't remember the Sandlot having a sexual assault in it, but
the movie Heavyweights.
Heavyweights, yeah, there's
probably lots of messed up stuff in that movie now because the entire thing is built on a premise that would probably be offensive today.
Yeah, a lot of movies were just sort of, I don't know. You go back far enough, you'll find some stuff you don't like. Yeah. I can't imagine what my daughter's generation is going to like. Look at the movies we're watching now. Just like
I don't watch movies now. We could. I mean, they could just go watch one of like a little potato recording of your stand-up, and I'm sure it would be offensive as all get out.
My stand-up appeals broadly.
Oh, okay.
Which means women like it. It appeals to broads.
Yep, saw that coming.
Yeah, that was some low-hanging fruit.
Softballs for Jason. Anyways, how about some softballs of some Magic Finance?
What does that even mean?
That was a Marcel segue. That was a throwback right there. We had Ryan on last week. We had to get Marcel in here in spirit. But instead, this week, we have a guest. We have Patreon guest Steven with us, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Dude, I have to say, some podcasts I'm more excited for than others, but after 2 minutes with you before the cast bullshitting around, I decided I needed to go get a beer because we were going to have a fun one. I think it was the moment when you said the 50-something-year-old swimming across the Pacific Ocean is not allowed to sleep on a boat, and the boat should go backwards. I think that's
my
what I
favorite
decided
part
it
was when you
time.
just now said Pacific Ocean before you drank your beer.
Hey, if you're going to swim across the ocean, swim across the ocean. If you're going to stop and take breaks, you're not really swimming across the ocean.
That's true.
That's a great point.
I agree.
I watched Finding Dory the other day with my 2-year-old. They didn't take any breaks at all.
No, not even pause for laughter because there was none.
They just kept swimming.
You know my favorite part of Finding Nemo is if a clownfish's mate dies, then the son or daughter becomes the new mate. So
is that true?
Yeah,
it's a real biological thing.
So in Finding
that's
Nemo,
crazy.
he was so concerned about finding his son because that's who he was banging.
Wait, in like the real world, in the ocean, it's also whatever you call it, where it happens regardless of the sex?
Yeah,
Well-
life finds a way with clownfish.
Okay.
It does explain why he was trying to get off the reef so much.
Wow, it paints that movie in a whole different light, guys.
Yeah, every time you hear Albert Brooks screaming Nemo, you just imagine it's right at the moment of climax, and it just kind of takes you out of the movie.
Oh. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't know,
real science is messed up. Don't teach your kids science.
did not know that's where we were going this week.
Yeah, well, you never know when you open up a Pandora's box known as a science textbook. You know what you're going to find in there.
Man, anyways, okay, well, tonight we've got a few things to talk about. We're going to talk a little Battlebond because that just happened. I didn't get a chance to do any of this. Did you guys have fun with this? Do we care about Battlebond? Is it over now?
Yes, Battlebond is great.
I didn't get a chance to play with the set, but
Tell me why it's great.
Because it's a two-headed giant experience where you can build 2 decks with 6 packs and your decks are good. Like I was like, we're getting 3 packs each, and
Yeah,
the
it
decks
feels
are fine.
like not a lot.
It's not a lot. And then like we had the removals pretty balanced. You have like conditional instant speed removal and unconditional sorcery speed removal in black. That feels good. The damage based stuff is like, I don't know. It feels like the set's really well constructed in terms of gameplay. Like finance wise, the set's a slam dunk, right? We got great reprints and we got great new legendary stuff that's going to move everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what Najeela costs, but I care about every stupid Warriors and Tribal card that's going to go up on the basis of everyone being excited. Like, Najeela is the new Tazri, so I'm super excited about that. Like, I feel like new deck archetypes are going to crop up as a result of this. It's a great set. People are going to enjoy drafting it. The foils of the basics are going to look hot, and there's only one printing of each basic, so that's cool.
Right. Talked about that last week.
How did assist feel to you?
Assist felt real good because there are some times where you are just mana screwed. So my partner had a game where he was stuck on 2 lands and he paid for 3 assist spells, started ripping lands. He had a full grip. They were completely drawn out, but like I was still in the game because he was helping me drop 2 things a turn. So like that felt real good.
Yeah,
So,
that's
assist
cool.
is a great mechanic, so someone's not totally useless. So it's like, well, not drawing lands.
Well,
Like,
especially since it's a best of 1 format, right?
yeah. Having
Yeah.
your partner like not be irrelevant if they're not super contributing.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I'm in. Steven, did
It's,
you get to play with it at all?
No, I have the end of the school year stuff going on, so I couldn't do
man.
stuff. I had to report cards, but my plan is to go out Friday night. Our shop's doing something.
Nice.
Yeah,
Are
for
you
those who
into
don't
that?
know, Steven is a 9th grade student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's taking
are-
his 7th swing at 9th grade. You'll get it this time. I believe in you.
Is that your thing, though, man? Are you into the casual stuff? Are you like just into solar and not magic? Are you
No,
into
I
vintage?
play exclusively Commander. I started
You
off
play
going
what?
to. I'm sorry, EDH. My bad. I started off like going to GPs and realizing that I was trying to lose games on purpose so I could drop. So I could
Yeah,
do the
that's
things
how
that I
most
wanted to
GPs
do.
go. Yeah.
And just realized it was cheaper to buy the playmat and the promo if I wanted it on the side, and then
Also
get
true.
to all the stuff I wanted to do anyway.
Yep.
So, do you like play the commander pods at GPs? Is that you
No,
out there crushing dreams with your?
I'm not paying
$5
I'm not
foil?
paying $5 to play Commander.
It's more
Okay.
than that now. It's crazy.
It's like
It's
$10.
like it's like 10 or 20 sometimes. Yeah.
No, screw
Really?
that crap.
Yeah.
Wow, it's almost like having one company be the TO for everyone.
Here we go.
It's going to raise
It's,
prices. Who knew?
it's almost like having to pay judges cash instead of free boxes costs money. Who knew?
Yeah, you shouldn't be charging $10 to play Commander for a pod.
I agree.
That's just outrageous.
Now, people will pay whatever, but they're just going to find the limit of what people will pay. And
It's
I
just
figured
a-
this out where there was a limited GP, and then the next weekend was constructed GP, and they screwed up the flyers, and they left up the price from the limited GP, and they're like, it's $45 for constructed? And the judge is like, I guess so. And they're like, all right, here's $45, and everyone just paid it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You know they eliminated judge foils from the exemplar program for everyone. Like not everyone gets them now.
Oh.
I was told this recently by a judge. That's messed up. Like it's crazy how much the judge program has changed in the past 5 years. whether it's because of the lawsuit, where there's a class action lawsuit filed against Hasbro by judges, and that means judges are now paid cash instead of boxes, and there's not judge promos. But if you got an exemplar thing, you'd get a promo, but now you don't always get a promo. It's crazy.
You have to be an exemplar.
But that's what I'm saying, even if you're an exemplar now, you don't always get them.
Do they hand the promos out randomly to the exemplars?
No.
Or
Oh, yeah, basically, I think.
Okay.
It's nuts. It's just being a judge is already a thankless job. So hats off to people who do that. They travel across the country on their own dime, and they get paid cash now, but they're getting paid
I'm Facebook
not
friends
a lot
with a
of
lot
money.
of judges, and a lot of people are just like, can't do it anymore. It's a real grind.
It is a grind. You do it for it's not that different than playing Magic, to be honest, right? The people who do it for the community, and you're friends with the people you see every weekend, and you want to hang out, and that's what you do. So you just kind of put up with the grind. It's how they spend their hobby on the weekend. But it's just absurd that they're working, but in some cases it's basically a break-even proposition for them to go to an event. It's just nuts, but. That's certainly, that lawsuit is certainly one of the things I'm sure that drove the price increases at GPs, is that, judges are compensated in cash now, not just with boxes.
Yep.
Nuts. So do you go to GPs
I'm
and
sure
stuff?
that was
Steven, or?
one of the factors.
I think Jason's probably more right. When you have one company being able to do whatever they want.
Oh, don't agree with me, you sycophant. It's gross. Don't come on my podcast and suck up to me, man.
That may or may not be true. We don't really know. It's not like there's a lot of competition between GP organizers before, because GPs are, I think, 90% determined by the location, the attendees you're going to have. Like, you stick a GP in Bangor, Maine, it doesn't matter if it's the cheapest, best run GP in the world. You're just not going to have as many people if you have a GP in, Columbus
Vegas,
or whatever.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas.
That's what I'm.
Can we talk about GP Vegas for the rest of the episode?
I think we're actually going to record live there, so that'll be fun.
We're going to try to record live. When there's not an episode in 3 weeks, and you're like, why was there? It's because we took Corbin's equipment to Vegas, and they're like, all right, we're going to podcast. We spent 2 hours troubleshooting, couldn't get a clean recording, and then there's nothing. So I'm just letting you know I'm from the future, and I know what happened.
That does seem like a distinct possibility, but it's also equally possible that Jason's just like, nope, it's Game 7, guys. I drank 17 beers. I'm not going to podcast tonight.
Oh my God, I will be so drunk if it goes to Game 7.
After 17 beers, I want him to podcast.
If it goes to Game 7, I'm actually betting on Vegas, because if they come back and win 2 in a row to force a Game 7,
yeah, that's some.
They'd have
I think
the
they got that
momentum.
momentum, man.
Because that's a real thing.
I can make a fraction what KYT makes betting.
I thought that would set you off. I didn't know if we had any stat nerds here who want to argue against the existence of momentum. I think it exists in Magic. I think it exists in sports.
No, I agree.
You
Some
think
people
momentum exists in
I think-
Magic?
Yeah.
I think some teams can win games, and I think some teams can lose games. And I think if you're up 3-1 and you lose 2 in a row, I think some demoralization either will occur or has occurred.
Right.
So there's something.
I think it exists in Magic too, though. It's just a matter of how confident you are with your plays. You don't second guess something. You're not afraid to take a risky line that sort of may look bad if it goes wrong, but is also a high, is maybe like your best chance at winning. You don't play scared. I think momentum's a real thing. When you're coasting through a tournament and you feel like it's your day, you just play better.
And if you don't think momentum's a thing, take a game loss to a deck reg error and start out the match down a game.
Yeah, see how you feel.
And tell me you don't think that it's a factor.
Yeah, you don't feel demoralized going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happens.
I'm sure the YouTube comments or the comments on the website, people are going to come at us for saying momentum exists in Magic, but it's my opinion.
We get 4 comments on our YouTube page.
And one of them saying where the
one
Patreon
person
pitch
saying
is.
what time the Patreon pitch started. It's one person saying first, one person saying last, and another person saying something in Spanish. So it doesn't matter.
That's scarily accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have enough people that are subscribed to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery, and they haven't.
Not what it is.
Yeah, it is actually.
I'm gonna find out.
It is.
We're all
So
gonna type it in right now.
I like how you didn't know that, or you said that he was wrong, but you're not sure that he is.
Yeah, because
Corbin, that is exactly right. Jason is correct.
Damn it.
Yep. YouTube.
I thought you had to have like enough people to get a custom URL. Damn it.
And hey, if you don't like us enough to go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us as little as $1, which works out to 20 or 25 cents an episode, depending on the month. If you don't like us enough to give us that small amount of money to have access to our Discord server, you can just go to youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery and you can click like and subscribe, and you can finger blast that bell icon to get notifications when we post a new Brainstorm Brewery podcast episode, or after hours, or what's the other thing we do? Brain Bites.
Or the announcement.
That's a way you can
winner.
support us. Well, see, here's the thing. We promised that we would do a giveaway for if we got to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube page, which is it's comically low for a 6-year podcast.
That's been on YouTube for 6 months.
Well, yeah, but still, we should have had a little bit more momentum going into this. So if you want to support us for $0, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you could be the person that wins our drawing when we get to 2,000, which hopefully doesn't take another 6 months. Hopefully it takes closer to 1 month.
I actually don't know how long we've been on YouTube.
Go to youtube.com/Brainstorm. Well, we've been like on YouTube since like 2010, but
well,
like,
that doesn't count.
Seriously. Yeah. So go there, finger blast that bell icon to get the notifications, like and subscribe or whatever. I always hear people say like and subscribe. Aren't they the same thing? Or is it like the video, subscribe?
Like the video, you thumbs up the video.
Yeah, okay.
And this is actually the secret, is that people just want engagement. This is at least what I heard about the YouTube algorithm, is that even thumbs downing a video shows that it's controversial if it's getting a number of ups and downs.
Hey,
so it actually
don't tell our goddamn troll listeners that it's okay to thumbs down the video.
But
that's what I'm saying.
They'll just thumbs up it instead,
subscribe.
despite the powers.
Yeah, I don't care.
I care.
Okay, man.
I get demoralized when I see thumbs down. I'm like, why do I bother?
And then you lose your next 7 games.
Yeah.
Man. But if I told people to buy a card on the reserve list, we'd have 1,000 thumbs up right now. But we got a thumbs down from some troll named Steven Kessner, who I know for sure is going to thumbs down our next video. So that's whatever. That's still better than nothing.
Anyways,
so
when we get to the end of the episode,
for free by doing that, you can win the drawing. We picked a winner. We're going to announce that tonight.
Yep.
And if you would like more stuff than just maybe a chance of winning a box, we have a plethora of different tiers in our Discord, our Patreon. Discord is the $1 tier. But we got other stuff. You can get glasses. Everyone's like, when are you going to send glasses? My basement is full of the glasses. I put them in boxes like this. I had to special order these custom boxes. And I have packed up 75 glasses that are going out to 25 different people.
Is Stephen M. Kessner going to get one?
No. Nope. Not anymore.
Awesome. You asked, so you're on the shit list.
I'm just sending out the glasses. We're just going to get rid of all of them, and then we're going to reorder them, maybe from a third company, maybe from the first company. So if you get the crap glasses that like flake in the dishwasher, you got 3 of them. Who gives a shit?
All right, Jason, speaking of the glasses, would you say that buying the glasses is like buying bears?
Don't reference our one meme. It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing?
See, I said embarrassing.
The Discord has spawned its own memes. It's very cute.
It's a meme.
It's a good meme.
Okay.
You stole one of them and put it as your Twitter picture.
So, there's a lot of fun stuff going on in the Discord. Corbin's wrong about politics in the politics Discord channel. There's stuff about EDH and Brawl and finance and other topics. It's a good time, and for $1 a month, it's really cheap to hear some of our unfiltered opinions about things and have 24/7 access to us. And get our opinions.
Don't tell them that, because then they'll expect.
No, it really is true though, because DJ gets up early in the morning. Jason and I are up at all hours of the night.
I get up at like 8.
Yeah,
that's early as fuck, dude.
Yeah, like Jason and I are usually up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I get up at 7:30, and then I take a nap, and you take over in the day, and then I'm on again in the evening. It's perfect.
Yeah. So, the Discord's good. I think the best tier is whatever dollar amount is to have access to our spreadsheet, where you can see on Monday night, as soon as we get done recording, what we picked for our picks of the week and our Breaking Bulk picks. You can see those in real time. You won't get any explanation until like Thursday or Friday, but you get to see them right away.
There. And it definitely, one of the recent ones was Peacekeeper, which there's been a lot of feedback in the Discord channel about. People haven't got in on that one. So I'm glad that our listeners were able to pick up their Peacekeepers before that one spiked.
So if you saw Peacekeeper Monday, you were good. If you waited till Friday, they were gone. So those things were sometimes you have time to act. Most of my picks are going to take weeks, but like sometimes they don't take weeks.
Steven, go ahead.
I actually got on that Peacekeeper and got it Tuesday morning, and it had already started moving a little bit, but slipped in and got a few copies.
Nice.
And then just going to hold on to them and trade them off at some point.
Perfect. I mean, that's...
Well, who are you going to listen to? An impartial member of the podcast or some kiss ass who pays us $40 a month to come on the podcast? So,
well, I also have the copper gnome, so don't get that excited.
That's going to pay off.
Dang.
All right, if it pays off, I'm going to send it to you. I want you to sign it.
Ooh.
I'll put
20 years from now, you're going to send one to Jason's retirement home.
You know, if I were Rudy, people would have bought enough copper gnomes to make it go up.
That's true.
So I just want to point that out.
I guess you're just not as good at this as him.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me run a Taco Bell. Let's make copper gnomes happen. That's my pick of the week for the next 6 months.
Taco gnomes.
Taco Bell gnomes.
I don't want to talk about a different pick of the week. See, I'm already funnier than him.
Yeah, that was hilarious. All right, let's break some bulk here.
Ooh.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right,
my
DJ.
pick is from Commander 2016, and it is a multicolored instant.
But
Only from Commander 2016?
Correct.
But I've never even looked at Commander 2016.
Oh, sucks to be you, Corbin.
Is it one of the basic or the
is it
the
that red
basic
black
land cycling cards?
Corbin's all like, DJ only picks old cards, so I never know what they are. I picked a new card. You don't know what it is either, so...
DJ, is it one of the basic land cycling cards?
Maybe.
Is it
the
the red
white one that makes birds?
Okay, you all just name different colors, so one at a time, please.
The blue-white one.
No.
Red black one.
Incorrect.
Red green.
Ball sack.
Nope.
Black
White
white.
black.
Literally no.
Okay. I was actually thinking. No, I was thinking
You
Grave
had
of People.
5
I had to go.
guesses, and
The
4 of
green
them...
white one is that Sylvan Reclamation?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah,
Sylvan
that's the good
Reclamation is sort of like Return to Dust. It is green, white, and 3 instant. Exile up to 2 instants and sorceries, or you can basic land cycle it away for 2 colorless. That card is TCG mid is over $1.
Oh crud! I think I passed one up in bulk. No.
You're
No one in.
Wait, I'm going to look right now. I'm looking at this pile on my desk right now.
I'm really good at this, and you're not.
No. The thing is, I literally looked at it.
You know what's funny? It was the last one I guessed that one fifth, and it was the only one I knew the name of.
I looked at it even in the bulk, and I was like, "Oh, this seems pretty good. This might be a thing, but it costs a lot of mana."
Card...
I knew that was a thing.
I was going through this. Oh wait! I found the Commander 2016 pile.
Doesn't the red green one do something good?
It's deal damage to each opponent equal to the number of lands you control, but it's 8 mana.
Oh, so it's not good.
No, I didn't pick it. No, what is this?
Yeah. So, Corbin, did you edit my article for this week yet?
Nope.
Oh, see, if you edited my article, you would have known that this was a pick, because my article is about Commander Anthology Volume 2, and this Sylvan Reclamation card is in the Atraxa deck. And so a lot of people are going to be buying this Commander Anthology because it's a good product. It's got Fiery Confluence, it's got Wormcoil Engine, it's got Atraxa, it's got Mimeoplasm, it's got Grave Pact. It's got a whole lot of stuff, and people are going to pick out all the goodies, and they're going to take out all the Eternal Witnesses, the Reliquary Towers, etc., and then they're going to throw the rest in the garbage, and you're going to pull all these Sylvan Reclamations out. You're going to pull all these fancy hot blasted landscapes out, and all these 10 to 15 to 20
And honestly,
cards.
I don't think Commander Anthology is going to put enough copies of anything into the market to really drag the prices down.
That's the thing, is that the only card that was really killed, quote unquote killed by the Commander Anthology last year was Kalia. She went from like 35 to 15 or 20 or so. But other than that, like Stranglehold dropped by 25%. A lot of other cards dropped by 20% or so, but like Path to Exile didn't even get touched. Freyalise dropped by like $1. Like most of the cards held strong, and especially this year, a lot of the legendary creatures are getting foil new frames with the Dominaria card frame. And so you're going to see a lot of cards just like either refuse to go down, like Duretti's probably not going to go anywhere. A different foil of Trax is going to be interesting. And so you're just
like
gonna...
anything that's predicated like 100% on scarcity, like something like Stranglehold or something like that. It's going to be tougher to recover, but actually Stranglehold gets quite a bit of play. So
I never actually seen anybody play Stranglehold, for what it's worth. I believe you, but I've never actually seen
It's actually
play.
Ted Nugent's buying all the copies because he heard there was a, and he thought it was a 14-year-old girl, so he thought he had to buy it.
And so, also the tokens from that product, don't forget about those. The Elf Druid I've talked about in this cast before from Freyalise last year. The Worm Coil tokens are going to be in place of that this year. Yes. They're going to be in bulk less often, but like if you're buying this product, those are some free Worm Coil tokens.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, Sylvan Reclamation.
Steven, you want to go?
Yeah. Magic 2011. Okay. Black Uncommon.
Liliana's Caress.
Nope.
That's common.
That's Shadowborn Apostle. That's
Liliana's Caress is an uncommon, Jason, so no. Shadowborn Apostle's M14 common, so no.
Wait, it's really M14?
Shadowborn Apostle's M14.
Thought it was
M11.
You said M11 uncommon or common?
Uncommon.
Yeah, so
is it
Liliana's Caress was a good guess.
What?
Well, maybe it's like a...
Is it the skeleton?
Is it just reassembling skeleton? I don't think it'd be that. Is it just in M11?
No, it's got like 11.
Vampire Nighthawk.
Yeah, was M11 the first printing of it?
No.
What was the first printing?
You gotta tell us all the print, dude. You can't. Oh,
what's the first printing?
Go with the first
Odyssey.
Printing.
Odyssey.
Was it uncommon in Odyssey? Or rare in Odyssey?
It was uncommon.
Ooh, Odyssey to M11. Jeez. Was it Mind Sludge?
Nope. It is also in Kaladesh.
Okay.
Oh, Diabolic Tutor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Thought that would not be it.
See, and that's funny because when I was looking for my pick of the week, I just was kind of going to go and just find something random and interesting. And then when I started organizing everything, I got to that and was shocked that, buy list at Card Kingdom for the M11 is 12 cents. One of the versions is 25 cents. And that's just a card that I would always just toss aside because you see it so often.
Yeah, you do. It's true. In fact, I'm always on the fence about it because it's one of those where like, yeah, some days you get it, a buy list on it for a quarter and it feels great. And other days it's just not on the buy list.
Yeah, but you always pull it just because
of
course.
Why would you not pull it?
Of course.
Like every time they print a card that's better than it, it's rare, and people.
It's in 33,000
play this goddamn card at all. They shouldn't. They shouldn't play it, but people still do. There are like 10 bulk rares that are like this card, but better for the same mana cost. And everyone's like, nah. Dana Roach sees people play this card and like loses his shit. His whole EDH rec column is like, you shouldn't play this card. Why are you playing fucking cancel an EDH? You're an idiot.
That's funny.
So
that's a good
This is one of the cards that sets him off. It is a good card. Like, because there's some stuff that people play just
But
like,
you know what? The thing about they play it because, one, not everyone has the same... Not everyone goes and builds commander decks based off of what the best thing to buy is, even if it's cheap. They have to order it off TCG Play or whatever.
Yeah,
everyone
just
has
have
Diabolic
these.
Tutors.
Yeah.
Also, people will just like look at the bottom of TCG Player. So, as somebody that works at TCG, I see a lot of direct orders come through, and there are patterns where people will just like click on cards that say customers also purchased X.
Yeah.
So you can be like, oh, Diabolic Tutor. Well, I'm building my commander deck. Oh, I'm a black-white deck. I guess I'll grab Surge of Righteousness. And then they'll click on that and be like, oh, I guess I better also pick up my Stasis Snare because that's a remote. Like, they just chains together all these random garbage cards.
Yeah, it'll make you lose your faith in humanity more than seeing customers also bought, especially if you buy an Amazon a lot.
It's just one of those cards that everybody wants a tutor effect if that's what you're going for. They're all over the place. and people will just throw them in with the hopes that someday they're going to upgrade out of it,
Right,
maybe
exactly.
into like a demonic or something.
Right, exactly. But it's always just a low priority because they have it and it does what it does. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's a placeholder, but it's a fine placeholder, and people have it. All right, I've got one for you guys. This is an only printing. It is from a set that I don't think we banned this set, but it is a set with a lot of picks. But this is a good one. It's an uncommon from Zendikar. It's
We
not
didn't ban Zendikar.
No.
Okay,
What color is it?
It's not Vampire Nighthawk.
What color is it?
It is an artifact.
Oh,
Trailblazer boots.
It is Trailblazers boots, and this is a really good one.
this
because-
was already a Breaking Ball.
I did this
Yeah.
a while ago.
How long
Like a
ago?
month ago.
What?
You know why I didn't say Trailblazers boots right away? Because I was like, no, that was already something we picked.
That
I
was
did
so
this-
long ago.
It was 9 months ago, but it is on the spreadsheet.
Okay, come on. It was 9 months ago, man.
It's on the spreadsheet.
A lot can happen in 9 months.
I got another Zendikar uncommon for you.
All right.
Also sitting next to me. It's a black uncommon. It's a creature.
Is
it
this one Vampire Nighthawk?
Is that
It's
Vampire
not-
Hexmage?
It is neither of those cards.
It's not Vampire Nighthawk. It's
Feast
not
of Blood.
Hexmage either.
What?
Feast of
Who
Blood.
cares?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a modern playable card.
Marsh Casualties.
No. That's a legacy playable card, not modern.
You tell me Marsh Casualty is not Martin playable?
It's not played in modern. It is played in legacy, though. It is...
Oh, Vampiric, or the Trap, right? The Revenus Trap?
Nope.
Ugh. You're garbage. Let's go on. Let's do mine.
DJ's tilted. He can't get this.
I'm thinking.
It's a creature?
It's a creature. It's a modern playable...
Poison Belly Ogre.
What?
The
That's not
the
from Zendikar.
ally.
It's not... What? No.
Was
You said Poison Belly Ogre. That's not... No.
Was that Ravnica block?
Oh, Gatekeeper.
It is Gatekeeper Malakir.
Gatekeeper Malakir.
Oh.
Shit. Woo. I thought that was common for some reason.
There you go. It's a 2-mana 2/2.
Wait, did you
We
say
know
it's
what it
never gotten a
does.
reprint?
I don't think so. No. I said that about
the boots
Trailblazers.
never
I
got
said that
reprint.
about boots. Booties.
Can we stop these monkey shines? And I got a legitimate one.
Okay. That was...
Commander,
I thought the booties would be harder than the Gatekeeper. I was debating between the two of those.
yeah, well, let me go back 8 months on the spreadsheet and pick a real stumper.
I don't ever look at the spreadsheet.
Commander 2013 was in an anthology, the first anthology.
Is this
Okay.
the original printing?
The original printing was Commander 2013, and it was in the anthology
Color?
last year. White.
Darksteel Bug.
God damn, Darksteel Mutation.
I picked that recently, dude.
Really?
That has been picked. I remember that one.
Oh man, what is going on tonight?
I think
that was
we're just too good at-
Corbin picked that. Corbin picked
Oh,
that.
I did it! I did it!
Because I remember guessing it, and Corbin picked it, and I guessed it correctly. So
All right, here's one.
I did it! Gatekeepers.
What did you do?
Gatekeepers at an all-time high, by the way.
what I do?
Shadows over Innistrad, white, uncommon.
Open the armory.
Open the armory.
I'm just gonna pick stuff we've picked for the M12, white, uncommon.
Timely reinforcements.
Spirit Mantle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is
gotcha.
Spirit Mantle on the spreadsheet?
No.
Are you
It's
sure?
also above $1. Pick Spirit Mantle, everybody.
That was...
Even though there are a bunch of cards that cost the same mana do the exact same thing. Really, Darksteel Mutation was a pick recently?
Yeah,
Corbin
dude.
picked it in March, and I got it instantly.
After I gave Corbin so much shit for picking an old one.
Correct.
That's funny. Well, this is getting harder, folks. It's getting tougher. There are a finite number of picks, and we try to pick ones that'll stump each other.
Well, we also
And,
try to pick ones that people are going to see. Like, we can
Yeah,
go back
that's a
and
good
pick...
point.
That.
Like, that's true. I mean, we could all go
fourth
back
edition
and...
strip mine. You're
Right.
not going to pull fourth edition strip mines out of bulk.
We could go be like, here's a 12-cent card from Scourge, but only DJ likes to do that.
Scourge.
So I try to pick
Hey,
things
look,
that
I
people
found
actually
a.
have.
Or you
fourth
could pick
edition
the
strip mine in
RTR
bulk.
guild symbol pack tokens that came in the pre-release
You
kits.
could do a
this
lot
good?
of really stupid things, and chances are DJ's beating you to it.
Hey, I'm buying like 100 of those from our editor.
Hey, you know what my favorite thing to do is? Look at a card for 5 minutes and try to figure out if it's unlimited or revised. Sometimes it's very easy, and sometimes it is not.
That's true. I actually agree with that. It is
Some
there's a
cards
wide
are
range.
super easy. It's like, okay, the font is like size 42. It's centered in the card. The card's super dark, and then sometimes it's like, this is identical to revised. What the hell?
Yeah, it actually
Unlimited was a weird set.
Yes, all over the place.
I wish everything had a tap symbol so you could just go through a stack of the stuff.
Well, that kind of leads into one of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight. Is I've recently been going through some older cards, and this is something I did not know a ton about when I started. But what I found were basically the one that really was like, okay, I got to figure out what this is I found a black bordered Japanese concordant crossroads. And I did not know at first what that meant. I was like, I thought Legends was only in Italian. Like, why is this Japanese? You know, I don't think this counts as like a foreign black border. I don't think that was a thing for this, right? Etc. So I dug into it and I found out, and I didn't know this before, it's Japanese Chronicles.
Yep.
Because Chronicles back in the day still existed in other languages, but they had a rule that when a card was printed for the first time in a new language, it had to be black bordered, not white bordered. Yep. Which is how you got FBBs in the first place. It's also how you got like Japanese Chronicles, or I think I have some Chinese cards like that. I don't remember. I've got a big stack of them. But it's basically impossible to find a price for these. A lot of them aren't even listed on TCG Player. And one of the recent ones I have that is actually relevant, I mean, Concordant Crossroads is too, but I found I don't remember the language offhand. I think it was French, maybe German. I don't remember offhand. Strip mine. But it's a black bordered strip mine. And for people who've been following it, you know that antiquity strip mines have been going crazy in price. Like, I think one of them's up over $100 TCG mid now. So like, man, this card's got to be worth something, right? I found out, it turns out, after a lot of digging, it's actually from a set called Renaissance.
Yeah, German did Renaissance.
Yeah.
And Italian.
Sure. Like I said, I don't even remember which language this particular card was.
Probably the Renaissance languages.
Yeah. But they're not FBBs, right? Because they're not foreign black bordered revised or 4th edition or whatever. Those technically equate to over there. But it's also not antiquities. It is specifically Renaissance. And TCG Player doesn't even have a listing for that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it would shock me. And it's like, I think it took me forever to even find one that had sold or been listed.
Who back in the day, back in 1997 or whatever, was bought the 1997 gift box, which was a 1,000 count box with like a lid that slid on and a sleeve that slid around it. And it was like a pack of Renaissance, a pack of like French cards, a pack of like Italian cards, and 2 packs of Visions 2 months before you could buy Visions on the street. Oh, like, does anybody remember that gift box? It was like this giant 1,000 count box that had like 6 packs wedged into the end of it.
I was 8 years old then.
Sorry,
that
Grandpa.
was what I kept my cards in forever. That was the thing. So I knew what Renaissance was way back in the day because I was like, oh, this is like German Chronicles, I guess. And it had the Chronicles logo on the front. It said Renaissance, but it had like the globe.
Yeah.
You know, if you remember Chronicles wrapper, it had like the copper colored globe.
I do not.
Looking thing. Yeah. Well, shit, I'm old. But it's, instead of saying Chronicles, it said Renaissance. So I was like, oh, I kind of knew what it was, but I didn't get anything good. I have all those cards still. I taught myself German reading that. I was like, oh, Gruben Scorpion is Pit Scorpion. Interesting.
I just thought it was crazy. I mean, one, that I took as much digging as it took for me. And I'm generally pretty knowledgeable about what sets there are, right? But it's pretty hard when it's not even listed on TCG Player. Is there anything?
Yeah, there's crazy stuff like, what is it? Anthologies? No. Whatever, like it's like old Tempest cards, but the set symbol is its rarity. Is it
okay?
Battle Royale? Yeah, Battle Royale is a thing. I think
like it's where you get the whiteboarded living end, yeah.
And some of them are like...
There's one other thing that's like Battle Royale. It's not Battle Royale.
Is it Beatdown box set?
No, Beatdown box set. The thing I'm thinking of has no set symbol.
It's like anthologies or something.
But it was like Swords of Plowshares. There was no set symbol. Yeah, I think anthologies.
It's called... It's anthologies like 93 to 97 or something like that. Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's at the bottom of the card in the middle, it says 93 to 98.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah. And they're centered.
93 to 98.
Yeah, then there's Battle Royale, which has like... It has the colored expansion symbol on like Tempest cards. You're like, what? What's that? It's a white bordered living end with a gold Tempest symbol. So some of that stuff is like, it's it's really hard to know what's worth. Like I have an Anthologies land tax, and like it should be worth what a 4th edition one is worth, but I can't find any prices on it.
Well, and that's the hard part with like this strip mine, for instance, or that Concordant Crossroads, where especially since of the reserve list buyouts, I think that believe that Concordant Crossroads is on the reserve list. The black bordered version just spiked like crazy, even if it's not. It's just a Legends card that spiked like crazy. And then the Chronicles version is, cheaper, still worth money, but cheaper. And it's like, I literally have no idea where this Japanese Chronicles version fits in because it's...
Concordant Crossroads is not on the reserve list.
Okay, well, it's just one of those Legends cards that spiked.
That's something he could have easily looked up, but like, why would he do that?
So with a card
it doesn't
like
matter.
that,
It doesn't matter to the story. The point is, like, the black bordered version is much more expensive than the white bordered version because it recently spiked. So theoretically, the foreign black border should go somewhere in the middle, but it's just impossible to get a price for it. So I guess the takeaway for people at home listening to this is, if you ever come across this stuff, one, don't feel dumb or just assume that you know, because there's a lot of weird old stuff, especially when you start talking about foreign cards, that you will not have heard of or you don't know what it is. And basically you can look to completed listings on eBay, or you can go to Facebook groups that specialize in foreign cards to try to find, sort of where you belong, where the price belongs.
Would you
if
consider
you're going to do eBay completed listings, go back more than like a month. Like try to get like a year snapshot or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a card you would take to a GP and try to move there, or at least get some information?
No vendor's gonna. No vendor's
I would take it to get information.
They don't want weird shit.
Yeah, I would take it for information. I would not take it to sell.
Okay.
Because they want stuff that they can flip, and they'll buy it from you, but they will destroy you on the price of it. Right?
Like good reason, because it's a pain in the ass to move.
Yeah, well, they have the same problems we have. They can't. If I can't list it on TCG Player because the listing doesn't exist, they can't either. Not to mention that if they have to figure out a price for it. So they're either doing all the research you've already done.
Or they're doing the research you haven't done.
Yeah, or they're just giving you a number that they think is safe. And they will always err on their side.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but I would absolutely take it, for instance, especially if I was already working with a dealer, for information, if I just didn't know. And most dealers are knowledgeable enough, even about something like this, that, now I know it, and I'll know it for the rest of my life. But it had never come up before. But you can take it, hand it to somebody at a booth as you're just browsing their stuff, and they'll probably tell you pretty quick. And you never know. Maybe you'll have something crazy on your hands.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Is there anything else we missed in terms of just crazy, weird sets that people might not know about?
Not really.
There's I think Deck Masters.
The Richard Garfield, Garfield versus
Well, a lot of the
Finkel.
stuff has an expansion symbol. The confusing stuff is the stuff that has no expansion symbol. You're like, I think that's 4th edition, until you look at the bottom and like all the information is centered instead of being off to the left. You're like, what's the deal here?
I have people
it's like
all the time.
To 98. That's weird.
Yeah, I have people who come in the store all the time get confused about Chronicles.
I have people come in the store all the time and tell me they have 1st edition and it's revised. So.
Yep. I was told somebody told me that a beta Shivan Dragon just a week ago in that quote 15K collection I told you guys about. And it was a 4th edition HP Shivan Dragon.
Of course it was. Steven, are you into old stuff like this, or are you just like, give me my Commander 2016 cards?
No, I care exclusively about EDH. I'll get old cards if they fit in an EDH deck, but I don't do a lot of... I only make purchases and specs on things that I actually would play.
Yeah.
So
That's weird. That's not specific. What the evil finance speculator...
you're too good to play Shivan Dragon? Is that what you think?
The evil finance speculator?
No. I've got a Shivan Dragon in my Dragon deck. I don't spec on things that I don't specifically know.
Wow. So you're suggesting, and stop me if I'm wrong here, you're suggesting that as a Magic player who buys Magic cards, who listens to a finance podcast, you're in this to get cards that you would play with, not just to get rich? Whew. I don't know, man.
Well... I follow the Jason philosophy. You buy 2, you use 1, you flip the other one later so that you can get more, or at least get your money back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never said that on this podcast.
Okay.
I don't think.
On that note...
That was something I said on the Command Zone like 5 years ago, and like they keep quoting me, and I think it's good advice, but I've never really said that on this podcast because you people are like, buy 2 copies of a card? ? Why don't I buy 40? So my thinking was, if you want a card, right, chances are other people are going to want it. You're like, oh shit, a card that scales off of Warriors is out. Maybe I want Druid's repository. Well, if I'm going to buy one, someone else will probably want it too. So if I bought two, maybe the price doubles and I got a free one and I break even, or I, made a profit. So
yeah, and this is something that we were actually talking with. I actually don't remember if they said anything about saying it publicly or not, but we're talking about, and we all have this experience talking with people behind the booths who run online stores, who run dealers, and they talk about when a card gets bought out, they're not shipping out 20 at once. It's 4 at a time. And people the internet refuses. It's just absurd how people, I don't know if it's just the human nature to want to blame something on someone else.
That's absolutely the human nature.
It's just so sad. Like,
no, it's because they know that the finance community exists, but they don't know anything about it. So they're like, we're a shadowy cabal that's ruining prices for
it happened before the rise of MTG Finance. Even people, I think, still blamed it on, maybe they blamed Star City at that point instead of, us or whatever. But people buy their play sets. Most people are not out to flip. Not everyone's DJ trying to flip nickels at a time on a spec.
Most people the Food Chain Griffin deck top 8 at a Star City Classic with 47 players. I need to go buy 4 copies of Food Chain. I'm like, that card didn't get better. Just some guy got lucky and went 3-1 to get top 8 of a 47-person tournament. And they're like, shut up, idiot, I'm going to build this deck. And they bought all the Food Chains, and then the card went up to $25, and I'm like, I guess I don't understand finance.
Well, I mean, but even that's fine. The point is, it's not like, sometimes, yes, there are buyouts and people buying 50 copies of card. And I think the reserve list is an example of this happening. Although I'm willing to bet that a lot of the reserve list buyouts are happening from dealers and not some shadowy finance cabal. But that's neither here nor there. It's just, the point is, about that. Yeah, the point is, for most of these things, it's just players buying them. All right, so speaking of that, that actually segues very well into our next thing, which is talk about something we love, and that is game nights. Our buddies Josh and Jimmy over at the Command Zone do game nights on YouTube. It's a really, really awesome series. If you've never looked at it, they do a lot of Commander stuff or other types of formats that really appeal to the casual players, and it's sort of like the old Spellslinger series on YouTube was, where it's very casual, friendly, and they explain a lot of what they're doing, and it's sort of like the pre-releases in that sense, and it has the best editing I have ever seen on any Magic-related piece of content.
He spends an hour editing for every 2 seconds of footage or whatever.
Insane.
It's something dumb. It's his full-time job now.
Yeah.
Like, Josh Lee Kwai quit a lucrative Hollywood film editing job to do this, and more power to him. It's fantastic. Game nights is the best. Yeah,
I love game nights, but for this,
they're never going to have you on, Corbin.
Well, that's okay, man. That's awesome, anyways.
Game nights does something that no other EDH YouTube thing does, in that it actively talks you through their match as they go.
Right.
If you watch like Commander Versus, it's just the raw footage, which is fine. But being able to talk through plays and what people are thinking and hear that away from the game, but kind of interlaced with it, makes that a beautiful product.
It's so good. It's easy to follow. You know what all the cards do. It's visually engaging, which is really impressive for a game of Commander, which is usually just a giant mess of things on the battlefield. It's nuts. It's truly awesome. So absolutely props to them. But what we're going to talk about specifically with it tonight is that as it's grown and as it's picked up more and more viewers, and rightfully so, it's starting to have a financial effect. I think Shadowborn Apostle is the most recent example, right?
Yeah, Shadowborn Apostle, Constant Mists, and I think Reconnaissance are all recent examples of just...
Oh, no, Vedalken Orrery, because that's
that was the other big one, yeah.
That was my pick of the week. Basically. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding. It was them.
Oddly prescient.
Yeah, all those are definitely cards that saw camera play and had all of the hosts commenting on how good the card was and how impressive it was and how well it performed. And then a lot of people go on TCG Player and buy one of the card, and then suddenly it's a buyout. In the case of Shadowborn Apostle specifically, it's not people buying one of, it's people buying 30 of.
20. Yeah.
So that's a card that goes from 0 to 100.
I did like picking Shadowborn Apostle and stuff like that, and Thrumming Stone a while back and being told I was wrong, so...
I told you not to buy the foil rat colonies.
That's true.
Well, I did. I bought them. So,
So I mean, with this though, if this is not somebody's type of content, I'm not going to say they need to go watch it to see what card gets played or whatever, but is this something people should follow if you're interested in the financial side of things? Even if it's just, like you said, like Steven, right? You play Commander. You watch this series, it sounds like. Do you ever watch it and be like, man, this is something I need to get on?
I watch that series and I watch the Commander Versus the same way that probably somebody might watch the Pro Tour or some GP coverage. Is those guys are absolutely drivers when it comes to prices. And if something shows up well, it probably behooves you to move quickly and pick up a couple copies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I think that's kind of what we basically just want to touch on is because we wanted to talk about it last week. Last week was Battlebond episode. But it's just a thing now that this is sort of a part of the landscape. And we talk all the time about in Magic Finance, you adapt or you die. 20 years ago, it was real easy to make money on cards. 10 years ago, no one had smartphones. All you had to do was know prices. You made money on cards. 5 years ago, you could arbitrage overseas with complete ease. These days, it's always something new, right? And the market eventually adjusts and catches on, but there's always something new. And this is sort of the newest evolution of this is game nights can drive prices of cards. Saffron Olive on MTG Goldfish, when he has a budget brew that does well, can drive prices of cards, especially
everybody
online.
But us can drive prices. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, for one...
If I tell you to buy copper gnomes, you tell me to go fuck myself, but... If I went 3-1 in a casual room on Moto, you'd buy every copper gnomes possible.
I guess what I'm saying is a couple things, and I'll start with the easiest point first here, is that if you are somebody who wants to keep abreast of the Magic Finance market, there's a lot of things you can do. We talk about, you listen to this podcast, you can go to MTG Stocks every day, you can do all this stuff. But there's more to it than that. You need to be aware of what these other things are. We always talk about how casual players drive the majority of the prices and the player base of Magic and all these things. And those are the players watching game nights and buying cards based on that. So if just as a note, if you want to be up to date on these things going on so you don't get blindsided because, maybe you wanted to buy your Vidalcan Orreries, but you were waiting or whatever, right? And you weren't paying attention to this, it does kind of have a financial effect on you. So it's something that, we do our best to keep up on it and share that with you. But these are just things out there that you should check out. One, because you might enjoy them, but two, because they matter. And secondly,
or join Facebook groups and communities like our Discord channel where people monitor that stuff for you and be like, hey, I saw on game nights they were playing Shadowborn Apostles. Do you think that matters?
Right, absolutely.
Like if you don't want to do that legwork, get in a community where people do that legwork for you and kind of bounce their ideas.
Well, and everybody has something different, right? Like I don't have time to sit down with my child, running my life and watch an hour and a half of game nights. But, obviously Steven watches it because it's awesome content. And you can always accomplish more together than you can alone.
The real treasures are the friends we made along the way. Got it.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, but the other point, basically, that I wanted to hit on this is that, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about people talking about the Shadow Week of all buying out prices. I think game nights driven the prices on cards a lot more than we have recently. So... and those guys are awesome.
And
they
we're
understand.
Not saying that's a bad thing. We're saying that's
just reality.
That's hipping people to stuff that they realize they want to play when they see it demonstrated.
Right. And, at some level, there's not a lot of difference between us saying, hey, Shadowborn Apostles is a great card that a lot of people playing Commander, you should buy them, and them actually playing it on camera for people to then go buy. Right? It's just
I just love the idea of some dude watching game nights and buying like 18 Shadowborn Apostles, and he needs like 3 more for his deck, and it's like, oh, I need 3 more. They're $3 a piece now. Fucking finance.
It's just there's a lot of talk about people complaining about the finance community driving prices, when in reality, these things.
Yeah, but have you ever
Saffron
talked to
Olive
someone
going
complaining
5-0
about the finance community that wasn't a total dipshit?
Yes. So I don't like some people are clearly dipshits, but some people just don't understand the inner workings of the market because why should they? They're just playing Magic. But it's just a thing, and I think some like Saffron Olive going 5-0 in a league can drive prices a lot more than us. So it's just hard.
Maybe that's because we only have 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Anyways, I think the point is that all of this goes in the same bucket, whether it's Brainstorm Brewery and Magic Finance Podcast, whether it's game nights, whether it's Budget Magic on MTG Goldfish, whether it's any of these things, they all contribute to the same market, whether it's overt or subtle.
I think it's going to take a few more years before people stop just blaming this shadowy cabal, and they
I
start
don't think it's ever going to stop.
I don't think it'll ever stop. You just get
we are a real convenient scapegoat.
Yeah, you get new players who do the same thing, and then they'll go to somebody who's new to Magic casually just, why did this card go up? And someone links to an MTG Finance subreddit post where someone asks if they think we should go buy these or whatever, and now they bought them all.
Does that also tie into the fact that like the average lifespan of a MTG player is around 5-7 years, and so you never have the people in long enough to say no, look, it's because of this and this.
Well, I think it's a lot of things, right?
I really wish the average lifespan of a Magic player was 5 to 7 years.
Jason would be dead twice over.
Good one.
I think that whether or not people play Magic for 5-7 years, I think the turnover on the internet in terms of who is vocal about things is much shorter than that. Because when someone comes in after a year, they're real hyped, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be real indignant about their prices. 2 years later, they're just going to learn how it works, and they're just going to kind of stay out of it. And that's why you end up with people like us basically preaching to the choir in some senses, but also, it can get real tiring to explain to the guy indignant after a year of playing about prices for the 23rd time, So I think that the vocal minority on the internet will always be loud no matter what. I don't think that that's changing. So, I mean, we can do what we can do, which is to, do what we try to do to raise awareness and help players, stay abreast of all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of...
We're a drop in the bucket.
It's just reality. I mean, we're a drop in the bucket. All these things are a drop in the bucket. Some are bigger than others. And that's just not going to change. But it is what it is.
Yep.
The only people we can influence is a small number of people who subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery.
Oh, man, there you go.
And get the straight dope on what's going on.
What do I get for the $10 level?
What do they get? $10? I don't know.
I don't know.
People at the $10 level are a lot like the people at the $20 level. They don't get glasses.
Whores.
Jason's sitting out all the glasses. You heard him. He packed them all up.
I got a big stack of boxes here. I got a big stack of boxes here. I've got them all over my computer. I'm completely surrounded by them. You see, there's another box of them in the back of the room. They're going out. It's a process.
All right.
And you don't deserve it, so I don't know why. Look, if I don't get it done before Vegas, that's another week where I'm definitely not going to do it there. So,
all right. So let's move on here. Let's talk. Let's do picks of the week before we get out of here this week. Who wants to go first?
Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
This is a green enchantment that I think will go up based on the new Warriors creature that makes
Druid's Repository.
Yep, it's a buck.
It's still a buck.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
I have a pile of those in the 50,000 bulk rares behind me.
Nice.
Well, that could be a $3-4 card. It's old enough that I think one deck could make it good. And honestly, this card is too good to not be played right now. It's already a good card, but like something that directly translates combat into mana doesn't always translate 100%, but something like this new Janila, I forget what her name is. The
Najila.
Najila. Yeah, so that's something that like directly translates into you're going to want mana repeatedly, and attacking with more creatures gives you more mana, which you use to have more attack phases where you attack with more creatures and get more mana. So this lets you go infinite.
Yep, very good.
But it's like Edric, Atraxa, Derevi decks are playing this now. But I kind of think that it's in like 1,500 decks. I think if you get a bunch of Janila decks, I'm pretending not to know what it's called. I think if you get a bunch of those, then I think this number could easily like double, and I think that's enough to make it a $3-4 card. So I'm real excited about this, and I think there are a few enough copies on the internet at about $1 that I think this will get bought out pretty soon. I kind of think that if you're not a subscriber to our list online, this might be dried up by Friday. Who knows, man? Because people who played the pre-release already have copies and they're starting to brew decks, and people are real excited about this this commander. So I kind of think out of all the cards in that deck, this is probably the most vulnerable, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with here one that I think it's a little more risky, a little speculative, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think, if nothing else. Recruiter of the Guard from Conspiracy. It bottomed out at $10 towards the end of last year, and it's actually climbed back up to almost $15 now. Well, it was a good pick then.
Look at the spreadsheet.
I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me. It was a great pick 2 months ago.
I'm telling DJ to look at the spreadsheet so we can shame you.
I picked it because Masters 25 brought us Rashad.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and it's done kind of what you would have predicted 2 months ago, gone from 12 to 14, and it's continuing to show growth. And I think that Conspiracy gets older and older. Legacy might be swinging back around. There's talk of a Deathrite ban. If that ever happens, it's going to spike cards in other decks, and I think Recruiter of the Guard in Death and Taxes is going to be one of the primary beneficiaries of that. So I think even still at 14 here, it's worth it, right? It's climbed almost 20% since the beginning of the year. I think it's probably reasonable to go to 20, 25, but it actually has the ability to pull Leovold if a Deathrite Shaman ban comes down sometime this year. So I think it's a little risky.
Leovold.
Yeah.
This card's rare, not mythic.
Sure. That's true.
DJ knows what its rarity is because he just picked this as a pick of the week.
I mean, I guess I mean less in the sense that it's going to be 60, and the more it's just going to double based on a metagame move very quickly. So there you go. We'll see. But I mean, it was a good pick 2 months ago. I agree with you.
My pick of the week is from Conspiracy to Take the Crown as well, and it's Horn of Greed.
Oh yeah, Tatiova!
Horn of Greed does not need much explaining. It's $1. It used to be like 8 or 9 before the reprint. This is one of those cards it's going to take a while, but it slowly creeps to like 3 or 4 over the course of next year or two, assuming it just doesn't get 1-2 punched. But It's just a card that you can probably pick out of people's binders at like 50 cents or $1 or whatever, or you can
starting to feel a little sketchier about stuff that I feel like could go in a core set. Because normally I'd be where do you print this? And now I kind of look at stuff. I don't think this is going in a core set.
No.
I think this is probably safe. But now I'm starting. There's another dimension that I look at picks. And so before I didn't have to think, could this go in a core set? And now I have to think about stuff like that.
That's true. The core set does add another little wrinkle into this stuff.
But hey, they will pull shit out of their butt. Man, did we say, oh, could this be in Battlebond a year ago? No, we had no idea.
Right.
So they're coming up with all kind of creative ways. They're coming up with, hey, they didn't want to do another Conspiracy because Conspiracy didn't really sell that well.
It did, right?
Found it. It didn't really.
You can't get boxes for cost.
Conspiracy 1 did. Maybe Conspiracy 2 did do as well. Or maybe they just overprinted it. Maybe it sold just as well.
Maybe one didn't sell great either. It's just now that the box is starting to crest 100 for Conspiracy 1, and that's 4 years ago. Like, those sets did not sell great.
I mean,
and it's because a lot of
Conspiracy 2 of Conspiracy 1 didn't do well.
Because you look at the packs later and you're like, I'm going to buy a box, and then you open a bunch of packs and you're like, oh, this is the Cogwork Librarian or whatever. This is a draft-only card. Oh, cool. Paliano, a draft-only card. Oh, cool.
Yeah, of course.
All of a sudden, all my rares I can't play, they're not even bulk rares.
Oh, of course.
Dealers won't even buy them as bulk rares. So, like, that makes the opening the boxes feel bad. Oh, the only good rare in this set, the only good mythic got banned. Neat. So, what's your best case scenario? A foil expropriate? Neat.
That's sweet.
I mean,
best case scenario
foil
is
Leovold
still, but
foil Leovold's still money. But
all right, Steven, what do you got, man?
For me, I'm going to go with the EDH pick out of Aether Revolt. I'm sure it's probably on the sheet. Revolt.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going with Lifecrafter's Bestiary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe
7,700 decks. It's got to be on the spreadsheet.
How many decks is it in?
7,700.
Yeah, we talked about I liked it at the set review, but I'm like, wait till it gets at peak supply.
Like now.
Yeah, 7,700 is a lot of fucking decks.
I
kind of think that could go into pre-con, though. I'm real nervous about it.
Well, I was gonna say I think the foils are where you kind of want to be at. The foils are around $4 or $5 right now.
Yep.
I've been slowly grabbing them here and there, just clearing them out of friends' binders, swooping in on TCG Player. I think
that's
in a couple
foil
years,
that if it's $10 in a year, everyone's like, "What? When did that hit 10?" And then, well, real slowly and steadily, it turns out.
And it's a foil that I think they're going to be like, yeah, that's a great card. That's worth $10.
I like that I don't love getting on the non-foil. I also agree it could easily be in a pre-con. And it even hit $2 based on standard play. But what I like, you're right about the foil. It's just steadily climbed this year. And for a card as recent as, this card's not even 2 years old. It started off at about $4, bottomed out just below $4, and now it's up to almost $5. Like, the foil definitely has shown really solid demand and steady growth. So I agree.
I think in 2 years, you're going to look back at the Kaladesh block, and there's going to be 8 to 10, maybe 11 heavy hitters in each set that you're just like, that's EDH money. That's EDH money. Yeah. And they're not going to have the time to reprint all those. And if you're smart about picking foils when they're cheap, if you're smart about diversifying and spreading out a little bit, you're going to do really well.
Yeah, Metallic Mimic's definitely going to be the next adaptive automaton, whichever it is, for sure. Yeah, that turns out
automaton.
Yeah, turns out when you make sets based around artifacts, they're usually pretty broken. Yeah, you're right though. Aether Revolt, like Walking Ballistic, is played in Modern. It's got Mimic. It's got Paradox Engine for Commander. It's got Fatal Push for everything in the world. Heroic Intervention's a popular card. It's got a lot going for it.
Even Yahenni's in over 5,000 decks. That's
yeah.
Not even its commander.
It's got War of Invention. Like, that's all over the place. SRAM, yeah. And then Kaladesh is obviously just loaded with stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. Those are definitely going to be a place to be.
Probably one of my biggest regrets of this year is not buying, 300 Panharmonicons when I was in Europe for, sub $2 a piece.
Oh.
Yeah, the 95 MTG booth had Panharmonicons at, €1.5, which is, $1.80. And I was like, should I buy 300 of these instead of this random reserve list card? Whatever.
Yes.
And that's a card I just don't see getting in a pre-con, to be honest.
Yeah, I only bought 10 of them.
It's a kind of card, if it was in a pre-con, it's like everyone else would feel bad that it wasn't in their pre-con.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, Panharmonicon has been fairly flat. It saw a little growth at the beginning of the year, but now it's actually leveled off. Foils...
well, that's good, because the price currently is predicated on, standard play, and everyone...
It hasn't seen standard play.
No.
It hasn't. Well, there was a minute...
Dude, Saffron Olive puts in every goddamn deck he brews. What are you talking about?
There has been a minute where the card was in standard, but it was more last year than it has been.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
But the foils have also been pretty steady at $9. Panharmonicon's a shoo-in for the next conspiracy or something, though, right?
It's in 13,000 EDH decks. Yeah, for reference.
I want to be on Panharmonicons forever, but I just assume that it's getting
it's
a
only
reprint.
A 2x foil multiplier too, which doesn't seem correct for an EDH staple.
And
it's a little closer to 3.
Non-foil is what was climbing up.
No, it's 5 and 12 for the foil non-foil.
Market price is $337 versus $975, or rather versus
that's $9.
Yeah.
All right.
But I agree. So what do we think about Panharmonicon? We obviously all love the card, but the reprint risk is definitely there, right?
I don't know, because what do you put that in where it's not totally...
You put it in a conspiracy set, a core set.
Yeah, that's true.
It could dodge commander reprints, but there's a lot of other places they could dodge. This seems to me exactly like the type of card they're going next year.
I don't think they're going to do more conspiracy.
Battlebond 2!
Yeah, exactly.
Battlebond 2 seems way more likely.
It could be in Battlebond.
Yeah, but Battlebond, it says you control, not your team.
Sure. So? I'm
just saying, says you control, not your team.
Yeah. I'm just saying that Panharmonicon is likely to be reprinted somewhere. So I probably want to be in on foils, because I also feel like $10 for a foil original printing Panharmonicon is just a fair price, regardless of anything else. So that's.
But you don't see this coming in another year. This is a 2 or 3 year out card if you're gonna talk about foil copies.
This is a 2 or 3 year conversation about Panharmonicon.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. It could be next year's core set, and that could very easily happen.
You could never get pre-engaged
or it could be one of those where they go, we know what we have. We know we can let the price climb and it'll sell us at 3 years from now. It's just impossible to guess what Wizards does with stuff like that. Some stuff they print into the ground, some stuff they just never reprint, and then it's a flagship mythic of conspiracy, you know? Like, it's really hard to say. All right, well, there you go, everybody. Steven, is there anything else you want to shout out or say? Where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
If you want to see me on the internet, go to Twitter, Stephen M. Kessner. You can find me there. I talk about random crap. That's it.
Nice. All right. Well, dude, thank you again for coming on. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun before the show with you. I had a lot of fun podcasting with you, man. DJ Jason, anything before we get out of here? Great.
GP Vegas.
GP Vegas in like, gosh, it's like a week, isn't it? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Woo.
Are you working that, Corbin? Or?
I am.
Nerd. I'm going to be having fun.
Yeah, I'm going to have fun too. All right, everybody. We will see you in Vegas if you can make it out there. If not, we'll see you next week. All right, peace out. Good podcast, guys. Oh, shit, the winner. We forgot to announce the winner.
Why are you
still
so
podcasting?
bad at this?
Did you stop your recording?
No.
Then we're still going?
Why are you so
Then just announce it.
Wow, that's good. JJ's just going to leave all this in, too. It's like the after, it's like the secret track.
I had one job on the podcast and I didn't do it. My name's Corbin.
You didn't draw the winner and you didn't announce the winner.
I did draw the winner.
Other than that, you're doing
fucking glasses. All I
know,
have to do
DJ,
is
you
do a
shuffled
drawing.
up the slips, essentially, and I drew it.
You didn't pick? I got to mail out all these goddamn glasses. You just sit at home like, wow, I don't have to do that.
I shipped
You
out
have one
16
job.
playmats today.
The winner of the YouTube giveaway and this excellent box of Ixalan is one Herman Dharmawan is the name of our YouTube subscriber. So Herman, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing, man. Don't worry,
like three
Jason.
Dudes are gonna be like, I think that's me.
Jason
I'm
did,
Herman Jarber.
Jason did a check of all the other channels you're subscribed to make sure there was nothing in there that he wanted to punish you for, and you passed. So congrats.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we would have drawn another name if you'd subscribed to some channels I found objectionable, because that would be messed up. I'm not saying we would have done that.
Fortunately, we didn't.
I'm just saying that you didn't put me in that position. I don't subscribe to any garbage channels that make me weigh the ethics of doing something like that. So,
well, Herman,
good
congrats,
on you for
man.
not putting me in that position.
I'm gonna shoot you. I don't know if we can send a message.
You can message
to
somebody
people
over YouTube, Corbin. The technology exists.
Does it? I think you can because he's a subscriber to our channel.
Oh Jesus!
I don't have permissions. I'm trying. There's no way to message him. Anyways, Herman, we'll figure out how to reach out to you,
Corbin.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll talk to JJ.
Why don't you work on a single thing that you almost didn't do tonight?
All right, Herman, congrats. Everyone else, thank you for listening. Get us to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. We will do another giveaway. And check out the Patreon where we are working towards our goal of killing DJ with a very hot chip. So
we need $100 more a month. That's it. That's such a small
it is very
amount
small
to murder a little boy child that's on our podcast with a hot chip.
Oh man.
I want to see you and Corbin fight it out because you're both like, oh, I got the bravado, I'm a hot, spicy man. I want to see.
It's not. I'm not trying to be tough about it, man. I'm just not like you. It's like I'm gonna die. I can't do it. You guys can't really make me do it.
Yeah, but I'm doing that.
I might fart a little blood, but I'm not gonna like succumb.
Not cry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'd cry either. I just said I'd die.
I'm just gonna squirt
DJ
like
literally
a whole
tried
tube of
to
Orajel into
DJ
my mouth.
tried to convince us to not do this Patreon goal because he was so scared of having to do this challenge.
That's legit.
That happened.
I was scared to do this challenge just like Jason was scared to dress up as Guy Fieri.
But I did.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this too.
And that did not disappoint.
Yeah, that was great. That was good. All right, there you go, everyone. We're done for real.
I had women think I was Guy Fieri and then like try to hook up with me. So.
Did you try to take him to Flavortown?
That's gross, man.
Did you give him the donkey sauce?